presentation. What's happening? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I just got lost in translation there for a little bit. Okay, cool. So just in terms of what we are going to do today, so as you can, just a couple of things that I just want to reiterate. Phil did send a detailed message in the group, but I also understand that people are quite busy and we can sometimes lose sight of those messages. Just one of the things that we have decided on, I know there has been a concern around the sessions that we are running and that people don't always have the time to attend these sessions. Despite that, we have to say that, I mean, the sessions has been well attended, but the decision that we have made, and Phil alluded to it last week, is that it's formalized now that we're only going to run 2 sessions per month. So we would have one on the second Wednesday of the month and then the final Wednesday of the month. And he did send out an outline. Phil, myself, Louise, and Tom will just sit and we will actually put together a structured program, what we are going to do. When we got a skill session, we will actually identify what skills topic we will be looking at, when it will be a M4S mentorship skill that we are going to present. We will be very clear around what it is. Then we also said that the final session that we will have for the month will be a progress session where we are going to look at candidates' progress, etc. So you'll see what we have done for today. And this is typically how our sessions will be running. So if we are going to run a soft skill session, we will start off with a soft skill session and then after that go into breakout rooms. And the way that rooms has been set up is literally to make sure that we clustered people that are on the same route. So our SAICE Nook 1 will be those that have base qualifications. I know we've got 2 of the MTN guys that's also going to join that group. And then we've got in room 2, we've got the MTN NUC 1. Those will be the candidates that are following the alternative route. And then room 3 will be our NUC 2, MTN NUC 2. That will be the academic route. So in terms of who will be in charge of those sessions, myself, Phil, and Johan, either one of us will manage the room 1 when we have our breakaway sessions. Then I think Tom and Sakadi and Lorato, I think, will be room 2. And then Fran and Janko will be responsible for room 3. Oh, and Friedrich will also be part of the sessions. But what we will do is when we kick off the sessions in our schedule that we are going to send out, we will be very specific around who will take charge of those rooms for the day. So what I am going to do today, though, I am going to start off with a NowCuli demo. If you can remember, Phil has gone rush through what NowCuli is all about. So now I just want to demonstrate how to utilize NowCuli. The expectation is that all of you had an opportunity to register. If there's some of you that tried to register and had a problem, if you can just give an indication in the chat room, and then Louise can, while we are busy, Louise can just in the background try and sort you out and assist with any challenges that you might have. So I'm just going to go into NowCuli, just quickly show you how to set up your short resume, how to add your picture, etc. And then also just a quick demo in terms of our themes that we have decided on. Now, I have to be clear that themes are not cast in concrete. We have just gone on what our thinking is, but we also would like, when I go through the themes and just kind of explain what the rationale is with all of those themes, if you guys can just give us input and tell us whether there's any other themes that you think should be part of our NowCuli discussions. That, and then I will also demonstrate how to either ask a question, pose a question, post a contribution, or share an insight on NowCuli. Okay. So that being said, and then after that, Louise, as people are coming in, the challenge is, and I just quickly want to explain, I saw earlier that a lot of people were concerned to say that they don't see their names on the list, etc. It's very challenging for us. So initially, we wanted to make sure that we, in line with the POPIA Act, that we don't share people's email addresses, etc. And we have sent it out via, Louise, what is that beautiful thing that you're using? Whatever Louise is using, it's the iCalendar, it's not working. Because if somebody don't respond to the iCalendar, it doesn't pull through on Louise's side. So all we see is people that accept it, but the people that actually, everybody that received it, we don't get a notification on Louise's side on Teams or on our Outlook that people have accepted or not accepted. So I know Phil has sent out. If there's anybody that violently object to us sending out the email as it is directly from Teams, please can you share that with us? We would really hate to alienate people because we are using their email addresses, etc. As Phil said, we are feel that we are a trusted group of individuals within the MASELULEKANE group. But, I also feel that as individuals, we have individual views of whether we're okay with our information being shared. So if you can just come back to Louise on that, then we'll still send you the iCalendar. But for the majority, we are just going to send out the Teams so that we know every time we have a meeting, we know exactly where we are. So what Louise is doing as people are coming online, she is assigning you to the breakout room so that when we actually get to the breakout rooms, everybody will be in the correct room. Okay. So let me just stop sharing and then I'm going to share my image queue. Where's my image queue? No, people. Sorry, I can't even see it when I want to open future. What is coming on? So I'm looking on. Okay, I actually had SAICE TER. That's why I couldn't find it. That was what was open on my Edge. Sorry. Okay. So as you can see, so typically what's going to happen, if you open it on your phone, obviously on the phone, it will be on a full screen. If you're going to open it on your Outlook, not Outlook, on your Edge, or I said to Louise earlier, I found that when I tried to open it with Microsoft Chrome, I had a challenge. So I actually had to open with Edge. So you'll see that we've got MASELULEKANE. When you go in, no, I don't want to just install it right now. What typically will happen, the minute you register, it will ask you whether you want to install it on your desktop. For now, I've just not done that, right? So just if we go onto the home screen, so typically what you're going to find on your home screen is you're going to find your details right at the top. It will tell you welcome back. It will also tell you at which level you are. Remember, it is gamified, so people are actually voting on how valuable your contributions, your questions, or your insights are. And you can see from that, you can see I'm also just still on level 1. My points that I've accumulated up until now is 320, and it will tell you how much do you require to go on to the next level, right? And then what you're going to see on the home screen, you'll see all the latest posts that has been posted, whether it's questions that's asked, contributions, or insights, etc. So if you go down, so right down, you will just see all the latest. And what you then can do, you can actually go and respond to somebody's contribution, right? What it will also give you is that once you then respond to a particular conversation, that conversation will move to the bottom. So that's just what your home screen is going to look like. It will reflect all the posts that has from the latest to the oldest post. Okay. If you go onto your menu, so what you see, we've got our home screen, we've got our leaderboard. Typically, if you click on the leaderboard, it will give you the ranking in terms of first of all, you'll see that Phil and I have already posted on the platform. So we've actually achieved points. Then after that, you will see it will be in alphabetical order. So as you guys start communicating with each other, posting questions and contributions, etc., you'll see that that leaderboard will change, and the people that are most active and is getting the scores, this leaderboard will change as and when you go into the leaderboard section. Okay, then onto my profile. Why is it springing, jumping around, people? So if you go onto your profile, hang on. The reason my thing is making funny hooters. Just try to see. So I go into your profile. Guys, I don't know what's going on. Okay, what I am going to do, let me quickly just show you on posing questions, etc. So you'll see there has been some questions raised. If you want to create a post, you have to go on to create post. It will then ask you, do you want to pose a question? Do you want to post a contribution? Or do you want to share an insight? Right? If you, for instance, click on, you want to pose a question, and I just want to quickly also take you through what are some of the themes that we have decided up until now. Like I said, that will still change. So we've got our 5 IR soft skills. That means that any soft skills that we have completed, if there's any questions related to that soft skills, it will automatically be posed under that skill. Then we also have made sure that we differentiate between academic route, alternative route, and then our academic route, right? So where's our standard route? It's alphabetical. So it's academic, alternative, and standard route. In other words, when you have, for instance, one of the guys, let's say Takalani, she's got a question that is literally related to the standard route of getting accredited, etc. She will go and plonk that under the standard route. If any of the MTN NUC ones have specific questions related to the alternative route, or for instance, let's say we get clarity from EXA around the alternative route, and we want to share that information, we will share that under contributions. Or if Tom just wants to give an update of where we are in terms of the alternative route, he can then post that as a contribution under alternative route. Then we have general discussions. That can be discussions if you have some insight in terms of how you feel that we have to run the sessions, or you want to propose somebody that has done a talk before that would be great for the human error series, the human factor series. You can add that on our general discussions. Then our human factors, that would typically be those projects that we are going to run and going to present that had challenges based on human factors. If you have any questions related to that. If you have some project reviews, you're working on a very interesting project and there's some interesting project learning that you want to share, or you've reviewed a project and there's certain learnings and lessons that you take out of it, you can share that. And then because the majority of the people in our group is related to roads and transportation, you can also have specific posts around roads or transportation. So that is the themes. So if you decide on, let's say it's the alternative route, and you ask who do you want to share it with, you can say you want to share it with the whole MASELULEKANE group. What we are going to do, we can also break this down further to say, if you want to share it with only the people that's on the alternative route, we can also filter that down, that you have an alternative route question and you want to only pose that question to the people that is with you on that alternative route. We will also break that down so that you can make that distinction in terms of who you want to share it with. Then you type your question. What you can also do, you can notify if this question is urgent. Let's say you ask the question and you really need an answer as quickly as possible. You can then also rate that question as urgent. Now, when you've posed a question and you've logged that as urgent, Once people start answering your question and you feel that your question is answered sufficiently, only you will be able to take that from urgency now to say, okay, your question has been answered, it's no more urgent. Okay, so that is as far as your questions are concerned. If you create a post and you want to make a contribution, once again, remember, contribution is where you share information, right? So here, once again, you can select your theme, and then it's going to ask you what is the knowledge field. So your contribution that you're making around, let's say, 5 IR skills, is it critical thinking? Is it best practice? Is it a personal lesson that you've learned? Or is it part of your knowledge network? Or is there no really knowledge field? Then you can just choose none. You can then type your contribution and post that, okay? And then you can also insights. Typically your insights would be aha moment. Now, the one thing that I just have to clarify, with your contributions and your questions, people can respond to it. However, when you share insight, that is just, I'm sharing personal learning. I am not expecting people to respond to my personal learnings, right? So you can just put your insight, post it, and people, they can vote, or they can rank or rate your insight, but they can't send you any responses related to that. What you can also do, if you want to go and you want to see what questions has been posed. Now, on your home screen, everything will be filtered, whether it's a question, whether it's a contribution or an insight. But if you now go specifically click on questions, or you specifically click on contributions, it will only provide you with that information, right? What you can also ask, if there's any specific, let's say you want to go and see by a specific theme. So let's say I want to go check what questions have been asked in the academic route, and in my group, in the country, etc. You can just add my group. Now you will see there's nothing, because there's no question specifically related to the academic route. If you go and you say 5 IR skills within my group, it will also show nothing. So as you go through it, it will identify whether there was a question related to that specific. Now, the reason why we've applied that filter where you can actually go by theme is just to make sure. Sometimes you want to ask a question. I know that a lot of times we don't really go into it. I mean, I literally make a point of it, of going once or twice a week. I also don't go into NowCuli more often than not. And specifically because, like, we've got NowCuli, we've got CHQ, we've got a whole lot of things going on. So I just make sure that at least twice a week I go onto NowCuli, I go and look at other people's responses, questions, etc. Now, why we applied a content filter, let's say you want to ask a specific questions around the academic route, and you have not seen a question like that, you can actually go and you say, okay, let me go and check if there's any specific questions around that within the country, within my group, within my team, etc. Obviously, this will be dependent on how we structure it. Is there just for the academics, just for the alternative route, etc. How we structure that drop down in terms of who we are sharing information with. Okay, so that is how we can filter around that. If you have chosen a theme and you now want to change it, you can just tap on it, and you can start from over to actually go and filter that information. When you go to insights, I don't think there's any insights loaded yet. Okay. If there was an insight loaded, you would typically see all the insights that has been loaded. I just want to go see quickly if I can open my profile. This is weird. Louise, can you just make a note that we share this with Jason? I don't know, is it probably because of the platform that I'm working on? Because like I said, on Chrome, I couldn't go in at all. This is the weirdest thing that's happening. Let me see if I can open the other things. No, I am definitely not able. It's weird. I can open the leaderboard, but I couldn't open the other things. Okay. Okay, so also now, if you go into your home screen, you're going to see a list of questions, a list of contributions that have been made. If you want to respond, first of all, there's two ways in which you can, not two ways. So what you can go is you go and view the conversation, right? Then what you will see, anybody that has responded to this question already will have their responses. So you will also be able to see who responded to my question, what their responses was. And if there isn't any particular response there, or maybe what you want to say has already been in the responses, you can just add to it. Or if there's no responses at all, you can actually go and respond to it. So in terms of your response tools, it will also give you an opportunity. Now, I know Phil hasn't gone through all of this yet, because this is mentoring specific skills that we are still going to train you on. But if you look at, I want to respond from the perspective of the roles of a mentor, or I want to respond in relation to a tool and technique, right? Then you can go in. Or if there's nothing there, you just want to give a general response to it, or there's a nice picture that you have that demonstrate what it is that you want to say, you can attach a picture and you can put a response, add that, and that will automatically filter under the responses. You also have, if you have asked the question, you will also be able to go and edit your question. Let's say while you're busy, sometimes me specifically, I don't work when I work on NowCuli, I do it on my mobile. I won't necessarily come into NowCuli on my desktop. I will just work on. So sometimes you type something and you actually realize, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, right? So you can go in and you can edit your questions, etc. If you want to rate somebody, and just also in terms of the points that you are allocated, once you respond to my question, I and anybody else that come into that question can respond to you. So you don't just get rated based on your own contributions. You also get rated on your responses to other people's contributions. So whenever you actually interact on NowCuli and you add information, or you respond, or you share your own wisdom with the rest of the team, all of us will be able to actually rate your contributions. Other thing, what's it that I wanted to say? Similar to contributions, if I've added my contribution and it's just something that I wanted to share, etc., right? So for instance, if you look at Phil's contribution, what you can do if you go and view his conversation, typically the same like your questions, you can also respond to somebody's contributions. But as I said, insights is the only area that you won't be able to respond to people's contributions, but you will be able to rate what they have contributed in terms of an insight. Sure. I think that was my 15 minutes. I'm like, Phil, it wasn't even 15 minutes. It's more than 15 minutes. Any questions or comments? Also, if you have downloaded it, please feel free to go and play around with it so that you can also start contributing and we can rate you on that. But just also so that you get a feel for how this social learning platform is going to help you in terms of your journey. Any questions? Anybody that downloaded the app and having problems with it?
Yeah, Celestine, I downloaded it just now and I get a blank screen. It doesn't do anything. I get a little picture of it, something, and then it just hangs there.
Right. Are you trying on your mobile or on the web portal?
On my mobile, yeah.
On the web portal.
Yeah, and when I click now, it says application error, the connection to the server was unsuccessful. Android asset www.index.html.
Louise. 。 Louise, I'm not sure if you heard what Henk said his challenge is, but I think we just have to pick that up.
Maybe, Henk, can I ask you to do a screenshot for me and to send it to us so that I can forward it to the DevOps team so that they can have a look at why are you struggling? What is the problem?
Okay, I'm sending it on the group. I've already done that, so here it comes.
Okay, yeah, but in future, if you can send it on the mail, it's better for me to mail it to them.
Okay.
But that's fine. I'll drop it in the mail.
Okay.
Thanks, Henk.
All right.
Thanks, Louise. Anybody else that's got challenges? Going once, twice. Marvin, sorry about that. Marvin.
Hello, everybody. All well. Can you hear me?
Can I just ask you to just a little bit louder? Your voice comes through, but it comes through quite softly on my side.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks,
Okay.
Marvin.
First of all, I joined the program a little bit late. I must apologize for that. But the Excel sheet that you were given to us, I've been trying to fill it in, but there are certain parts that I do not quite understand. I have been able to log into the MASELULEKANE program, and I think I understand how it works a little bit better now. Thank you. But then,
Okay.
could there be a way that you could go through the Excel sheet real quickly so that we can maybe see how to fill it in, specifically the last sections?
Marvin, can I ask you, can you drop me an email? I'm going to put my email address, drop me an email. And then if you have 15 to 30 minutes available tomorrow, then I will meet with you. I'm actually working, I'm at home tomorrow. Working from the home office, then me and you can quickly have a 30 minutes and I'll take you through that sheet.
All right, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Louise is fast on the uptake. There's my email address. So you can just drop me an email. And when you send me an email, just let me know what times you are available tomorrow, and I'll send you a meeting request. Then we can quickly just go through the process.
Will do.
Perfect. Okay.
Celestine, Louise, I just tried again, and now I get a screen for a login for NowCuli, so I will attend and let you know if there's any issues.
Okay, maybe it was just a bad connection at the time.
Can be.
Yeah, I just downloaded it and it's working fine.
Okay.
Perfect. That's great stuff. So at least so now you can start playing around, share some information, etc. All the mentors is uploaded on the system as well. So if you have any specific, if it's under your specific route and you have questions to the mentors, please feel free to ask those questions. I think sometimes you will ask a question that is actually at the top of everybody else's mind. They just don't have the opportunity or the time to ask that question. So please, if you can start interacting, that would be awesome. So guys, please, I said I'm not going to be full, and I did actually take a half an hour where I was supposed to take 15 minutes. So any further questions before we go into our breakaway session? Louise, I just want to double check. Is everybody here in terms of, I see Johan is here. I've already checked.
Celestine, at the moment, we haven't got a mentor for group, the MTM NUC 2 group, because Francisca accepted, but she's not in the meeting. And she and Janku was supposed to be the mentors for this group. So I don't know what you suggest. Do we put them with MTN NUC 1? I see Tom can also not make the meeting, but and Frederick. Frederick is also not here, but Mike Helens is here. I'm not sure as to how we're going to do that now.
Even me. Okay. So we've got Johan. You know what, Louise? I think put me in the academic section, right? And I'm going to tell you why. I know that there is quite a challenges with regard to how they have to. So Let me sit with the academics and find out.
Okay, which group is the
Let me just check.
academics?
Sakadi. Wait, that's the NAC2. I just want to check. Sakadi, do you think that we can put you in with the academic group, maybe so that you just get a feel for what their challenges are?
Like put me in as in to observe, then yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I think what we are, remember, Phil has said at this point in time with the academics, we kind of stuck in a section because they can't really start. They have started their evaluation of their experience, etc. So what Phil said is they must just share their experience in the group amongst each other, and then, because right now we still don't have clarity in terms of the route or how we are going to evaluate them in terms of what it is that they need to supply when they do their submission. So Yanki is one of the academics that is registered, and that's why she would have been part of that section. But I think, Sakari, all they have to do in the group is that they've got to share what they've done to date, because part of what they were supposed to do is to look at their work experience, projects that they've worked on, etc. That was the experience audit. So they need to talk around that experience audit and specifically look at how could they link that to specific outcomes, because they had to identify gaps. But I think, Louise, put myself and Sakadi with NAC2. And then Johan, you okay to go on with our standard route candidates, hey? Let me just get from Mike and Michelle. Do you think that would be the way for us to go? I think specifically also thinking about the alternative route candidates.
Sure.
No.
Celestine, what I wanted to ask is who is in what group, because I get very much confused of where am I now. So you don't maybe have a list to say who's where.
Louise, do we have
Yes,
a list?
I
I
do
remember
have.
we did
Yes,
prepare a
I
list.
do have a list.
Okay,
from
do you
who's
want
where.
to share it quickly?
Okay.
What
do you?
if you can share that.
Michelle. Well, it's a long list. Let me just go in here to the mentees alone. All right. Let me share. Just hold on a second. Okay, so here's the list. Let's just filter under SAICE Nook 1, then you can quickly see the names in SAICE Nook 1. Is Lawsy, Gary Hayes, Ishmael, Jonathan, Lorata, Michael Mshlonga, Michelle van der Walt, Ntumekaza, Oliver, and Takalani. And then we've put Voter and Emma for the time being in this group as well, for the professional registration. Okay, and then
Michelle, just to clarify, those are all the candidates that got a base qualification. So that is why Voter and Emma is also allocated. So they are part of the MTN NUCs, but we add them to the SAICE because they're going the standard route. Then we've got our NUC, MTN NUC 1, that will be our alternative route, and NUC 2 will be our academic route.
Okay, can you see the names for NUC 1?
Yep.
All right, yes. And then if you find, then I can go to NUC 2. Sorry, I've just got a bit of a cold. Okay, and there we go with NUC 2. So I just...
So those are all our academics that's part of the MASELULEKANE program.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop sharing now. Just a second. I just got a WhatsApp from Phil. I just want to see what he said. It's something with the meeting.
Hi, Philemon.
He suggests that we close NUC 1 and 2 rooms as none of the expert mentors are available for today. And I will post a suggestion in the group chat. So I don't know. the decision. You can do that. I'll leave it in your hands.
So what Phil says is literally that the NUC 1 and the NUC MTN NUC 1 and 2 guys, we can let them go, and then we only run the session with a standard group for now, for today.
It looks like that. Yeah. He's typing in the group
Okay,
now.
Mike
So
and,
Mike Helens is here.
Mike
So,
and
yeah.
Michelle. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, ladies.
You're,
I don't know where I'm today, but I'd like to stay part, so please don't throw me out.
Okay. So what you're saying is the conversation around the standard route, you want to be part of that conversation.
I think it's more beneficial, and I'm not putting my head on a block, but I think I think I understand where I'm going and where I need to go without sort of being told, if that makes sense, because I've made linkage in my own workplace on those who have gone before, if you're with me.
Yes, no, absolutely. So I'm okay. This is my suggestion, and I'm gonna defer to Mike and Michelle as well, right? We would typically separate the groups, right? For today, I think, and Johan, I'm not sure if you were going to just get a feel for where all the what we were going to do is to speak to the guys that's within the SAICE in NUC 1 and Wouter and Emma to give us a clue around, because the majority of them have done their experience and they've done their gap analysis. Kind of find out where they are, have they started writing TERs, etc. Get a feel for that. And then, Johan, we've also received from one of our candidates on another program, he's actually sent us example TER that Johan was also going to share with the group. So I think, guys, we'll do that. We'll actually do a round robin with all our SAICE guys. Anybody that wants to stay on, that just want to get a feel for that, I would suggest that you then stay in the room. Thanks, Cheryl, for actually saying that we shouldn't kick you out of the room. We will not kick you out if you want to be part of the process. So I think, Louise, if you can bring up the names of who is here from SAICE NUC 1. So we're not going to do the breakaway rooms. We're going to do it in the bigger room. Just kind of get a feel for where they are in terms of the gap analysis. Have they started writing TERs? Takalani was actually going to share one of her TERs, but she did indicate she's was in a meeting that was taking much longer. So Takalani is not going to join us. To also get if anybody has started on their TERs and want to share that TER. If not, Johan will share SAICE's TER with that. Is that okay? Michelle and Mike, are you happy with that?
Yeah, good with me.
No problem.
Perfect.
Okay, so Celestine, what you're saying is that
Thank
we're not going to have breakout rooms. We just stay in this room and carry on.
We're not having breakouts.
Okay, great.
We just carry on. So if you can just show us the list again of the SAICE NUC 1 guys, and then we'll do a round robin with them. Just kind of get a feel for where they are in the process. Have they started TERs? Maybe one of them wants to share TER, and Johan can also just, I can project SAICE's TER and we can talk through that as well.
Okay, just a second. Okay, here's the names of the SAICE NUC 1. And obviously, Wouter and Emma is also now under this group.
Baie dankie hoor. Where is it? I'm waiting.
Okay.
It's not yet. Yeah.
You happy?
It's still waiting. I can't see it yet, Louise.
Can
Or is it just
anybody
me that
else
can't
see
see?
it?
Yes. we
Oh,
can
there's
see
it. I see it. Sorry. Now I can see it.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'll
So don't
stop
worry. I took
sharing,
a
then you can
screenshot. So
continue.
I've got a.
Sorry.
Yes?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes, Mike.
Celestine, I think those that want to stay should stay, but I think that, you know, one doesn't want to start confusing the issue because of the different routes that people are taking. So my suggestion is that MTM NUC 1 leave the room and they have a session that is scheduled with Tom and the other mentors so that they kick off on the right foot. Otherwise, they're going to be seeing things that they shouldn't be really concerned about, and rather wait for the right session so that they get going on the right track from the word go. So that's just my opinion, and that goes really for MTM Nuke 2 as well. I know that Cheryl wants to stay on, but those that need to go, I think that a lot of us have got other things that we need to do. So, you know, to listen to stuff that may not be relevant to that nuke, then we need to get out of the meeting. That's my opinion.
Okay. Mike, yeah, no, absolutely. I think as you are mentor on Nook 1, and I fully understand that. I think I also just want to mention that eventually they might have to write TER, so that would have been, you know, just kind of, but I hear exactly what you're saying. And this is a session that can be replicated by their mentors at a later stage. We will have the TERs available. We've got from some of our guys that with their permission, we can share those TERs. So I agree 100%. If the NUC 1 and NUC 2 guys want to leave, they're welcome to leave. Those that want to stay in the session, you're also welcome to stay. I mean, we do really not want to waste time and expect you to sit in on the session while you have other things happening as well. So that's awesome. It's great, thanks. So I'm going to ask our SAICE in Nook 1, Emma and Wouter, if you can stay behind. The rest, you are welcome to stay if it's okay. If not, we will then reschedule with you guys and your mentors. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, everybody. Good luck.
Okay, cool. Bye. Bye, guys. Okay, Louise, I'm just quickly double checking of the guys that we've got in the room. Who do we have? Do we have Gary's not here? Okay, so Gary's not here. Is Glozy here? Hi, Trevor.
Man, sorry, just a quick question before we are eventually all going to have to write TERs, etc. So, am I incorrect saying that by staying in this meeting, we'll definitely learn on how to write them up eventually? So, it's probably worthwhile to stay.
Yeah, I absolutely, it is worthwhile to stay. Eventually, you will have to write the TERs. That goes without saying. But like I said, I mean, we can also maybe have your mentors do it. We have received. It will definitely be beneficial. That I want to say to you. So you're welcome to stay for the rest of the session. Perfect. Thanks. So I just want
to Celestine, to answer your question.
Okay.
Wouter is here, Ismail is here, Michelle van der Walt is in, Ntombi is in, Oliver is in, Masingita is in, Emma is in, and Jonathan is in, and Michael Mshlanga is in, Sikadi is here, Lorato Nitsi is in, and that's it from SAICE Group 1.
Sorry. I don't have all that names that you just mentioned. I had Glozy, Gary, Ishmael, Jonathan, Lorato, Michael. Oh, okay. Michelle, Tombi, Oliver, and Takalani is not here.
Yeah, Masing.
Okay.
Gita, Masingita. Yeah.
Nice. No, that list that you showed me didn't have Masingita's
yeah, I see
name.
that
But
now.
okay.
I just want to see on my other list. But anyway.
Okay. So Johan is in charge. You want to talk to us? I saw that you tried to talk earlier. I'm sorry about that.
Hello, can you hear me? But Celestine, you'll have to put up the TER. That's what we're supposed to talk on. But I would suggest rather than talking through the TER, that I get an idea or get a feel of who am I talking to. You know, I'm a bit
Yes,
concerned
yeah, I think,
about
Mike.
differences, you know, between the different categories. Are we talking to a group of PR-Inch candidates, technologist candidates, or technician candidates? Because what we
So
have,
Johan,
the
that,
example, yeah, the
Mhm.
example that you sent through was for the PR-Inch category, which is an excellent example. So we must always bear in mind what type of experience, or firstly, the qualification, then the variety of experience, and the professional growth that we have experienced. So I just accepted that we're dealing with a group of mature candidates with
Okay.
more than 5 to 10 years of experience and even more. So if all the attendants can just indicate where they come from and how long they've been in the game to start off with.
So yeah, absolutely, Johan. That's what I was going to say. In terms of those of the candidates that's in the SAICE NUC one, I was going to let them give you an idea. And I know SAICE is for PR-Inch, so it's not so much about the content. I mean, I want you to go through the content, but it's also around the structure of the TRE. You know, in terms of the organogram, what is important that they need to put in. So yes, you can speak to the content, but I want to, for now, if we have candidates that have not written a TER before, that will also give them insight into the structure of the TER, because the example we got from SAICE is actually a very good one. But just to take them through the structure and in terms of the information, you know, that is added, etc., to take them through that. But I think we're going to start off, and I'm literally going to start from the top. So we'll only ask the NUC one, the SAICE NUC one, Emma and Wouter, to give you insight into who they are, what qualification, what category they're going to register, how much experience they have, etc., and then we can go into the TER. Will that be okay with you?
That's fine, thanks.
Okay, so I'm actually just sooner going to start with Jonathan. We have Jonathan in the room, hey? Is Jonathan Dienik here?
Yes,
No.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sorry, Jonathan. And you're right there under Johan, and I didn't even see that. So, okay, Jonathan, you can do your intro.
Can everyone hear me?
Hello. Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm a candidate engineer, PR, going for PR-Inch. I've got 5 years experience in the construction field. But yeah, very limited experience on the technical side. So yeah, I've got a lot of gaps to fill, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Nope.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Emma, pretty much the same as Jonathan. I have 5 years experience, but very little actual experience, mostly admin. And I'm also going for PR-Inch.
Hi, it's Wouter here. Going for the technologist route, over 30 years of experience, more or less all my years in MTM, in all positions, currently general manager looking after a few offices and a hell of a lot of projects. So I've got so much experience, I don't know where to start and how to pin it down. So I think I'm ready to start with the TER, but not ready at the starting gate and starting block yet. So hopefully I can tick everything that's needed. So yeah, in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also part of this group. I'm also a technologist. It's Michelle speaking. And also 10 years post base qualification, but a lot more in other areas. Mostly project management experience, very little anything else. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi,
good afternoon, colleagues. Okay, Johan, you can go.
No, Nitsi, I'm listening.
Okay.
Lorato.
Hi. Oh, yes. Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm Lorato Ntie. I'm also going for the technologist route. I've got just over 11 years experience, and about half of it has been in the academic sector. Yeah, and also in consulting, engineering, several. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ndebo Ngobo. I belong to the academic group, but I'm just here to listen in and see if I can learn anything from this group. I've got more than 20 years experience in academia, so I will be joining the academic group when the mentors are available. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think we've got everyone present now, and I've got an idea. Celestine, if you can just put the TR on. You know, I've done a full presentation on the requirements and actually on how to complete. Now, what we have here is a guy who's just been registered a few years ago with an excellent example of telling us his story. Now, obviously, my point of departure when I advise people normally is that you must bear in mind to give a reflection of your professional growth. And in order to do that, you have to take note of the professional growth table. Now, in all your cases, you've got more than 5 years of experience. It could be quite easy to start off from where you telling us your story from the day you started work after graduation and how you gradually progressed into taking up more experience or more advanced type of projects that you handled. Now, obviously, all of you have indicated there are some gaps in your experience that you have acquired up to now, and some have, like Wouter, has already had 30 years of experience in a managerial instance. Now, in the case of Wouter, to start off with him, perhaps, you don't have to write a book about all your experience. You have to just indicate in your training and experience outline, that is the appropriate application form or format for people with more than 10 years of experience, indicating bullet-wise what you still have to ensure that you had included the required variety of exposure to put the evaluating assessors in a position of getting enough knowledge of where you come from, where you're going to. So the narrative is very important, starting off as a junior and gradually growing. And then you have to combine that information that you've had, that experience, with the 11 outcomes, and you're all aware of what it entails, the outcomes, and then structure your TRs in a incremental fashion up till the date that you're working now. Now, in this instance, just get down to it. As far as the I can't get this going, Celestine. Obviously, you have to indicate your professional growth, and that will also entail that you start off with your let me just see if I can get this. This is an excellent example. Elise, Celestine, this Can you just gradually move up? I don't seem to have access to your program here. Right, your organogram. Now, obviously, this in this position, the candidate, SAICE, all you have to do as per period, you have to indicate 2 positions above you and 2 positions below you. And up to the date of application, which will obviously be in a more senior position to indicate your professional growth. And then the nature of training and experience, it's obviously, you have to indicate the projects. You don't have to be elaborate on the project that you talk about. You must just explain where you come from and the type of projects, what your input was into that. And as I've said at the previous presentation, the main characteristic is that you have to be able to analyze, synthesize, come up with a solution to the problems. That's your outcome 1, 2, and 3. And obviously your level of experience will be based on your underpinning knowledge. That is outcome 3, which you use to analyze and synthesize and come up with a solution to your engineering brief that you received. And then the management aspect comes into that. And then obviously the softer issues like your outcome 6, 7, and 8, the ethics, the environmental impact of your actions. And a very important outcome will then be your outcome 9, where you have to be in a position to perform duties which you consider to be equal at the level experienced from an already registered professional engineer. Now, we can go through this for, this is a final year report. Remember, for this period of my training, I was the design engineer and the client side representative on this project. During this time, I worked directly under the guidance of my manager and mentor, Mr. So-and-so. The focus of my experience was playing an integral role in the following phases: feasibility and concept, detailed design, tender, earthworks and main contracts, demolition, construction, and closeout. I performed the full structural detailed design of the structure, as well as site supervision and multidisciplinary coordination. Now, immediately what you pick up here is this is complex work that this candidate has gone through, and excellent example of explaining his personal input into the projects that he worked on. Now, the growth point, new lakeside office, 9-story commercial office development, and then he goes on, it's 6-star design Green Star project, most critical dolomite hazard class in South Africa, indicates the difficulty or the high level of responsibility that was accepted by this candidate. The site posed severe geotechnical challenges that have impacted on previous developments. Now, and then he goes on to tell us how he approached the project, the feasibility and the design stages, and he even went further and indicated the outcomes. Now, the standard form or TR for the engineer category doesn't have that. This candidate made it his task to just guide in a eloquent manner to the assessors that's outcome 9, which I've met. I've also met outcome 10 at level D, and then he progressed to level D and E, and on the left-hand side, obviously, the outcomes. But that is just to give you an indication that you have to integrate all your experience in meeting all 11 outcomes. just go on there during the tender construction stages of the project, and you can, for your own reading, go through that. Just go up, Celestine, please. I contributed by resolving various potential H&S concerns during the demolition phase of the previous building. Now there's health and safety, a very important aspect as well, and he also brings in the ethical outcome there, outcome 8. So you can go on right through. Just go up. Then he realizes at the end he hasn't given an indication of his CPD or his IPD, initial professional development. So, and he also brings in outcome 11. Now, as I say, just write down your narrative from a junior phase, how you progress to maybe a senior engineer, and then now you're a manager or a chief engineer. Indicate professional growth and the variety of exposure within the organization. Celestine, you know, I'm talking to people that I don't know. I haven't even been informed what MTM stands for. Are they a construction company in the environmental or the roads environment? You see, I wasn't prepared fully, as you can detect, for a full presentation. But let's first get some feedback or questions from your side, and then I can try to guide you further.
Johan, it's Michelle here. Maybe I can give some guidance. So our problem, or most of the MTM and my problem as well, is that we are very specialized. So we may not have true construction in the sense of road construction experience, but we have construction experience in traffic monitoring station installations. So that is, well, most of us, there are candidates that are in different disciplines. So that's mostly our problem on how to write our TERs to cover all of these 11 outcomes based on a very specialized field. I don't know if that makes sense to you. MTM stands for Micros Traffic Monitoring, and most of us are traffic monitoring specialists.
Yeah, you see, that is the unfortunate situation. Since 1997, when I joined EXA, up to 2015, in the civil engineering discipline, the guys who just did transport engineering, as they call it, and the definition of transport engineering, I think it's included in your discipline-specific guidelines for civil engineering, was that those guys, as they specialize in a narrow field within the broader civil engineering disciplines, they have to get some project work as well. You cannot just do traffic monitoring and expect to be registered after 10 years. So the minimum requirement was 5 years, as you all have, luckily by now. But now you just have to give some indication that you have designed some road intersection or whatever.
Yeah, but you see, sorry, Johan, to interrupt you, that is exactly the problem. And that is why we have contacted MASELULEKANE to see, is there a way, because I'm telling you now, I'm 50 years old and I'm not going to a site. That will not happen. So if you tell me I'm not going to get registered, that's bad news.
Yeah. No, maybe you have done some calculations or designs during your career thus far, but you know, as they say, as from the whole history of registration, you have to have at least a year design exposure, a year implementation, and then a year managerial skills. Now, managerial skills you obviously have. trying to fit that in, you will need mentoring or just guidance from knowledgeable people like what is his name, Tom McEwen, you know, to meet the project requirement, because during my 18 years with XR, we've always had a problem with the office-based engineer. I had an example from a person. He had 17 years of experience, a very senior person in the company where he worked, but he was office-based. He was a design engineer. So you need to have that variety. So I didn't follow there, but in any case, that is the position as it is. I'll have to go into that and just from my side deal with Louise and Phil and Celestine to get a better grip of what avenues we can explore in terms of the present situation as it is. But luckily we have a person like Tom McEwen who's got a better grasp maybe.
Celestine,
Johan, Sakadi has just got a hand up. She is also from SAICE. Sakadi?
Hi. Yeah, I don't really know what level of perfect engineering monitoring the MTM people are doing. Yeah, but I don't think you must give up as yet. You know, I also have a traffic transport engineering background. At least in my first 2 or 3 years, I got to go on site and do some form of design. But after that, all I did after that was feasibility studies, transport master planning, traffic engineering studies, you know. So we have to try and assist in terms of the mentors that we have for this group to be able to like we need to get a mentor who understands, who has been there and who has managed to register. I know with some of my friends, my colleagues through the years, some of them never went to site. They never designed a road. They did transport modeling the entire career. And it was a bit of a rough ride to register, but they finally did. So for me, I believe there's always hope, and we just need to ensure that people are paired with the right mentor. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. That's an excellent contribution. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not saying don't give up or don't try. What I'm saying is that we'll have to find ways and means. Luckily, we're still in the initial stages of this whole MASELULEKANE project. So no, let me rather get more information and explore new avenues with the knowledge I have, and then with engaging with mentors which I know in the industry. So no, I'm really sorry. I don't want to put you off, but that's all I can guide you on at this stage, which hasn't been much. Michelle?
Cheryl, I saw you had your hand up and you put it down again. I'm not sure, Cheryl, if you have, but if not, then I'll hand over to Michelle.
I have a contribution, yes. And maybe it's fortuitous that Tom is not yet. What I'm going to say is going to stir the pot. May I continue?
Yes, you can. Yes. Sure.
I was very certain technologist. I really was certain. In fact, never doubted it. And we had some changes at my university. We had a new dean and, all these lovely things. And I've been looking for in-house, which is not a bad thing for an academic either, and discovered that I'm getting some interesting experiences that extend toward beyond technologist. And my qualifications in terms of the route to certified engineer is lining up. and I don't think that Tom would be happy to hear me say that, but our my dean, who's very active in EXA, has said to me, no, if you're going to do it right. Go for the big one. Go for it. Not any disrespect to technologists in any way, but you've been working forever, you're old. Go for it, man. Just go for it. So putting that out there.
Yeah, I think Cheryl, and that is like Johan said, that is why it's so important that we've got the experienced mentors that will be able to guide. And Cheryl, I mean, if you have a mentor internally that would be willing to also come on board on MASELULEKANE, I mean, that would be absolutely great. I know Tom also from his time at university, I know that he also have some contacts that we're trying to get on board, but the more we have, the better it is, and then we can have dedicated mentors for our academics. So that would be great if you can also just, share with us if your mentor would be interested in getting involved.
I agree.
Okay. Michelle, sorry, I saw there's a note. Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, can I get practical?
Okay.
So this specific form, do we download it from the EXA website so that we can start populating it?
It forms
And
part
what is
of
this
the
form? Sorry?
Sorry, it forms part of the application pack. Application for registration as a PR Inch, PR Tech Inch, or PR technician. So there are 3 different forms. This is the professional engineer form, correct?
Okay, and
The
the technologist
TRs,
looks a little bit different.
yeah, technologists look different.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Maybe just general comments?
Yeah, sorry, it's Michelle again. I feel sorry for Johan because the guys that needs to lead you is now not here. Yeah, we need to find a way, and I think EXA is on board with this. As sorry, I lost your name. The previous speaker said that she also did only transportation engineering. So SANRAL is funding most of this, and we would like to see some successes out of this. This is why we're here. So I think we need to really talk to Phil and Tom and see how we're going to do this.
No, thanks, Michelle. That's another positive contribution from your side. No. I'm sorry if I created the impression that you won't be registered at all. Obviously, we have not a lot of other guiding documents which can assist us, and we can have a look at maybe if you can get hold of people that went the transportation or transport subdiscipline route. But all I tried to indicate was that it's a bit more difficult in inverted commas. But with so many experience like yourself, with more than 10 years of experience, that shouldn't be a problem to delve into that. But the main purpose would be to combine your outcomes with your income, and to with your the outcomes with your input, and to ensure that you meet all the 11 outcomes and fill the gap in between. And that's the gap in between that we now have to look at, and the levels, obviously.
Thanks, Johan. Wouter, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say, Michelle is mentioning, I mean, myself, Michelle, Emma, and then the rest of our colleagues is following the alternative route. We have more or less the same experience, and what we hear from Johan is there might be some challenges, and we're not going to give up. But I just want to remind the other friends around the table that are so quiet. There are other people also in this group, and maybe it's not such a big challenge for them as well. So what Johan is saying is something that they need to take to heart and not to worry too much about the MTM nooks. We will work on it, but surely we don't know the rest in the group. But what Johan is telling them is just carry on. Don't let us MTM guys put you back.
Thanks, Wouter. I agree fully.
Yeah, I think, Wouter, it's just important that we also, you know, like you're saying, what can some of the potential challenges be? I think one of the big things is that this is a social learning environment, right? And even though the likes of Jonathan and Lorato and those candidates might be in other areas of engineering, there's still a lot that you can learn from them and they can learn from you. And I think when we are going to start presenting TREs, etc., when we continue with this and we do our monthly progress sessions, you might find there's a lot more that you can take from that. And I think what has been mentioned earlier and what Sakadia is saying, it is exactly that. There is always going to be a way. And I think our challenge, myself and Tom and Phil, our challenge would be to make sure that we get the right mentors on board. We've had mentors that came on board and then said, no, they're too busy. So they kind of moved out again. But we'll make sure that we get the right mentors on board that can actually support you. Cheryl, I see you've got your hand up.
Hi, yes. I'm just sharing this for me, but mainly as a motivator. And ultimately, in the more academic sessions, this might ultimately be a good just jumping the curve a bit. But I recognize that it's very brave and go and ask for what they need once they get. The small example was I have had no funding experience, nothing with a budget. You know, and that's like a big thing. That's in terms of your GAs, your top level performances. So I went to my
Cheryl. Sorry, Cheryl. I'm sorry to interrupt you like that. I think Sakadi also. I thought it was just on my side. There is quite a bit of static that's coming from you. And I think Sakadi is also having the same problem. We can't hear properly. It's kind of, it comes and goes. So
is that better?
That's it.
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay, I'll cut that very short. I went to my AGD and I went to ask for something substantial that had money attached, to cut a long story short. And she gave it to me. I'm cutting the story very short. And essentially at the present time, I'm sitting sort of in a handover space because other people are happy to give off as long as the HOD is happy. So I'm sort of getting an education on how to carry this new responsibility that I was so forward to go and ask for. But effectively, it's not just going to benefit me in this space, but in other academic spaces for promotional purposes, etc. So I chose to go and get that because I recognize that it's going to pay the bills if you're with me. So trust me when I say I didn't want to do it, but I could see that I had to do it. So please don't beat me up and please don't hang me on a tree. But I just want to put that out there because there was just so many gaps that I could see. And I thought, man, let me just get on with it, you know, because time's money. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Cheryl. And I think it's absolutely, I mean, in order for you to get, like you're saying, just get on with it. You know, we can get hung up on one or two areas that we might have areas or gaps that we need to develop. The important thing is that we recognize that there's gaps and we put together a plan in place. And like Michelle said, you know, you don't want to, after 30 years of experience, you now have to go on site, but let's also get those experienced people to come and tell us how can we circumnavigate that to make sure that we get around that. So thanks. I think I don't think there's any other questions. Maybe I know that Mike and Calvin and Justin, I think Justin also stayed in to just listen to the presentation. I hope you guys did get benefit from it. What we are going to do going forward, we're going to have more and more of these sessions where the candidates can showcase so that when you get to a situation where you have to start writing TERs, at least you've got the information that is required to write your TERs. Johan, anything from your side before we close off?
No, thanks. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Johan. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Hopefully, when we get to our session, that is a month from now, because we're only going to have this session at the last Wednesday of the month. Hopefully by then we will have our mentors on board, and we will have the smaller session that will be a lot more fruitful than the session that we had. Not that today wasn't fruitful. I mean, there was a lot of benefit from it, but I think when we actually go sit in the smaller groups, we are going to get a better feel for what is expected and how do we go forward. So thanks everybody. Louise and Phil, Tom and I will sit together with that schedule, and we will share the schedule in terms of what topics we're going to run for every session. Thanks, Jacob. I saw that.
Thank you, Celestine. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Celestine.
Isaac, I will share the TR example we got